now it becomes even trickier, because if you look at this, you can see you can add, you can subtract, you can multiply, and you can divide in all of this. This is getting smaller, so you could subtract, but you could also divide. Here we're getting bigger. You can add, plus 3, or you can multiply, times 4. See that? Again, we're getting smaller. A subtraction works, and a division works. And then bigger again, an addition works, and a multiplication works. Do you notice how I put all my addition and subtraction on the top and all of my multiplication and division on the bottom? There's a reason for that, because those are what you pair together when you're doing this, okay? So now we look and we see where we have some patterns. And here we have two minus 2's, so we're going to get rid of these two, because those obviously aren't part of the pattern. Then we go down here and we see we have 2 times 4's, so we're going to get rid of those two, because those are obviously not part of the pattern. That leaves us with a pattern of minus 2 times 4. See that? So now we just continue the pattern. So we've got minus 2 times 4, minus 2 times 4. So next is minus 2, then it's times 4, then it's minus 2. And now it's simple to put that in. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 times 4 is, my brain split, 24. 24 minus 2 is 22. And there we go. The pattern's finished. All right? So this is the basics of how we do this work. Now I'm going to talk about a few specific questions you have in your work that always cause challenges for our students. So we're going to start here. This is a grade 5 question. You have big bubbles and you have little bubbles. The little bubbles are your pattern. So you can see your pattern is right here. Plus 3, plus 6, plus 9. So the next thing in your pattern is plus 12, because we're skip counting by 3's. Don't start at the beginning again. Don't start at plus 3. We want to continue the pattern. Okay? So then this is plus 15. Skip counting by 3's. So now we just do the math. 19 plus 12 is 31. 31 plus 15 is 46. Okay? Then it asks you to make your own pattern following the same pattern from above. Okay? What's our pattern from above? Our pattern is plus 3, plus 6, plus 9, dot, dot, dot. See that? So what are we doing down here? We're doing plus 3, plus 6, plus 9, plus 12, plus 15, plus 18. Just like that. So to do the pattern, 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 9 is 21. 21 plus 12 is 33. 33 plus 15 is 48. And 48 plus 18 is 66, I hope. I didn't do this math ahead of time, so I'm hoping that's right. It's right, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's what they want you to do there, so don't get confused, okay? Next is we're talking about a magic square. And a magic square is a way of doing something so everything adds up to the same number. So for example, that's 15. 9 plus 2 plus 4 is 15. 7 plus 5 plus 3 is 15. 6 plus 1 plus 8 is 15. 2 plus 7 plus 6 is 15. 9 plus 5 plus 1 is 15. 4 plus 3 plus 8 is 15. And finally, 2 plus 5 plus 8 is 15. See all of those connections? There are so many of them, okay? So the first question, this is actually a grade 6 question, what they want you to do is they want you to just figure out whether it's a magic square or not. So you do exactly this. You add in every direction. You see I went across both corners, I went every horizontal row, and I went every vertical column. Okay? They all equal 15, so this is a magic square. If, for example, this had been a 6 instead, that means that this would not have equaled 15, and this would not have equaled 15, and this would not have equaled 15, so then it would not be a magic square. The next stage is they want you to solve the magic square. Now you look at this and you may think from the top of your head, I can't possibly do this, there's not enough information. But there is, because this one right here tells you how much that magic square is worth. So when I go 12 plus 8 plus 10, I get 30. That means every direction has to equal 30. So in order to solve it, I always have to have two pieces of information. I can't solve anything that is missing two pieces of information. For example, I can't solve this because there's two pieces of information missing. I have one piece, but I'm missing two, so I can't do this one. I can do this one because I have two pieces of information. I'm only missing one. So I want this all together to equal 30. So 10 plus 6 is 14. 16. Sorry, 10 plus 6 is 16. So I know my missing number here is 14 because 14 plus 10 plus 6 equals 30. Okay? If I make a mistake and I put a 10 here instead and I add 10 plus 10 is 20 plus 6 is 26, that's not 30. So obviously this cannot be 10. It has to be 14. 14 plus 6 is 20 plus 10 is 30. So now this one is good. Okay? Now here's a problem. I can't do this one. I'm missing two pieces of information. So how do I solve that? Well, let's change the direction. Ooh, this one I can do. I'm only missing one piece of information. So 12 plus 14 is 26. I want to get to 30. That's my goal. Well, that's a 4. 26 plus 4 equals 30. And now when I do this, I've got 30. This one, I can't solve. I'm missing two pieces of information. This one, I can solve. I'm only missing one piece of information. So 8 plus 6 is 14. 14 plus 16 equals 30. Okay, now what do? Well, this one's already good. That one's in. Now I can go back to this because now I have two pieces of information and I'm only missing one. I'm not going to finish this because I think you guys got the idea. All right, well, I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to write in the missing numbers, okay? So this has to equal 30 and this has to equal 30. So what's my missing numbers? This number is 18 and this number right here is 2. Okay? Do the math, check, make sure I didn't make any mistakes. All right? And the last one is this one here, which is in the grade 5 book, but is probably the most difficult one. And this one here, the pattern is down. You've got to figure out what pattern you did to get here. And this one is going to take you some time, and you have to do two things at the same time. Okay? You have to do two things at the same time. So in this case, I just want to look at my pattern here. Okay, the pattern here is times 3 minus 1. I'll show you what I mean. 1, let me make that red. 1 times 3 is 3. Sorry, this is a plus. Plus 1 is 4. See that? Pattern here again, times 3 plus 1. Let's try it out. 2 times, this is the 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. See that? And then again, times 3 plus 1. So now we take this 3, we put it down here. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. And I want you to do some more on your own. So for example, you could pick any number you wanted, but I'm going to pick 4, 5, and 6 because they're just continuing and that makes it easy. All right? So again, remember, it's times 3 plus 1, times 3 plus 1, times 3 plus 1. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. And 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. This one's a little bit tricky, but I want you to do your best on it. I think you can do it, all right? So that's the end of the lecture for today. Please get started immediately. This is your work. Grade 5, you're doing day 75. Grade 6, you're doing day 76. I will be online to answer any questions for the next few minutes. And you'll submit your work on Class Dojo as we've already been discussing. Thank you.